What's up, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Boondockbuilds. My name's Jamie, and if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Please hit that subscribe button. So what we're going to be doing today is making some items that always sell out every time I put them on the market. So let's go ahead and dive on into it. So a lot of us have a lot of scraps like this lying around. So what we're going to do first is take these over to our table saw and cut a few pieces at 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch. Now we're going to need one strip cut of each color down to 3/4 of an inch by 1/2 inch. Now lastly, I'm going to cut two more at 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to head over to our miter station, cut everything down to 4 inches long. Okay, so what we have here is our 3/4 inch, and then we're doing our 1.5 by 3/4 inch. We're going to put those together. Next, we're going to put our 1.5 by 3/4 inch on each side, put that 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch in the middle. And then again, on the outside, we have our 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch by 1.5 by 3/4. So when you're done, it should look something like this. I'm going to trim these sides off a little later. I don't know what happened. I know this is a 100% square. I think my spence got off on my table saw, but we're going to fix that later, so no worries there. Now we're going to glue it all together with some Titebond 3 and clamp it together. So last night, while these were drying, I had a little idea that I wish I would have thought of yesterday. So instead of going ahead and cutting these down and glue them together individually, I should have left this a lot longer, then come back and chopped it down in 4-inch increments. That would have been a lot easier. So food for thought on the next one. Get it? Food for thought. Let's get back to it. Please be sure to hit that like button and comment the word pepper and let me know you're still watching. And since this got off pre-assembly, I'm going to take it over to my table saw and trim off both ends. Then I'm going to take it over to my miter station and just barely take off the edges just to make sure everything's nice and smooth on the side. So next we're going to find the center of the end right here, take our 1 1/8 Forstner bit and drill down about 1/2 inch or so. After I go down that 1/2 inch, I'm going to switch to my 1/2 inch Forstner bit and go down as far as I possibly can. Then once I do that, I'm going to turn it back over, switch back to my 1 1/8 Forstner bit, and go down, leaving just a small 1/2 inch gap. Next, we're going to head back to our table saw and get a couple thin strips ripped down. Now we're going to use our 1/16 drill bit to make some holes. I see you back there. And while I was sanding, Boondock Jr. had his own project going on in the background. So here I have a piece of walnut lying around that's 2 3/8 inches wide. If you can at least get 2.5 inches out of it, that'd be even better. But what we're gonna do is cut 2 pieces down to 5 inches and 2 pieces at 5.5 inches. Now we're gonna bring our 5 1/4 inch pieces to a router table, and I'm gonna put a round over bit on one side of each piece. And now we're going to take our tape measure, pull over, and mark a line at 1 3/8 and 3.5. Mark those lines. And then we're going to find the center of this. All right, now we're going to take this piece and measure out. Let's see, it's 2 3/8 long, so 1 inch and 3/16 should be center. Perfect, 1 3/16. We're going to make that mark down here, and then mark that line. Now we're going to take our 1.5 Forstner bit and center it on that first line at 1 3/8 inches. Now we're going to switch to our 2-inch Forstner bit and hit the line on the other side at 3.5 inches. Now we're going to hand sand everything up to 220. Now we want to take our 5.5 inch pieces, flip those over to the flat side. So what we're going to do here is from one end, we're going to mark a line at 1/4 inch. On the other side, we're going to go down 3/4 inch. Mark a line on each. Now you can do this to both of them. Now we're going to take our 5.5 inch piece and our 5 inch piece that is solid, and we're going to line that up at the bottom of that 1/4 inch line there. Now lastly, we're going to take this, lastly we're going to take this extra 5 inch piece here with the holes cut out and put that where the top of that line meets the top of our piece here. Now we're going to go hit this with a finish. And there we have it, guys. 2 easy projects that you can either sell at your next vendor fair, give to a loved one, or sell online. If you want to check out our last video, click right here. We'll see you guys next time on Boondock Builds.